I don't wanna waste a minute. Don't have any plans, bring it. If you got a glass, fill it. Cause I need it now. Money is a bitch in it. I don't wanna think about it. So if you know the song, sing it. Cause I need it now. Take me to a place where the music's loud. I don't wanna think right now. Flashing lights running through the crowd. I don't ever wanna stop. So let's get out. Let's get out. I got money in my pocket and I'm about to fucking drop it with you now. With you now. Tear the roof off every building. I know I'll be spending millions with you. Just tell me what you wanna do. So let's get out. Let's get out. I got money in my pocket and I'm about to spend it all. I don't wanna waste a minute. Don't have any plans, wing it. If you got a glass, fill it. Cause I need it now. Money is a bitch in it. I don't wanna think about it. So if you know the song, sing it. Cause I need it now. Take me to a place where the music's loud. I don't wanna think right now. Flashing lights running through the crowd. I don't ever wanna stop. So let's get out. Let's get out. I got money in my pocket and I'm about to fucking drop it with you now. With you now. Tear the roof off every building. I know I'll be spending
episode 31 of the Almost Awesome Show. How are you all doing this fine. Forgot what day it is. Friday afternoon. Hope you're all doing well. As it has been here recently, I am all by myself today. But it looks as if you guys are all here to join with me. I'm happy to see the comment section already starting to light up. Very pleased to see that, so I don't feel so alone in life. Let's see what you guys have to say over here in the comments and who all's here as of yet. Looks like Nick's here. What's up, Nick? Nick's here, but not here. He's there with you guys, not with me this time. So Nick's here, says, check yo. Oh. Okay. This is some riveting shit here, guys. Oh, sure. Why not? Are you still there? Let's see here. Hang on. Is you available? I might have a surprise for you guys in just a minute. Anyway, let me know. I'm send the link if you can hear me. Or is it elsewhere? Hang on, let me look here. Oh, okay. I see what's going on here. All right, yeah. Probably going to have a surprise for you guys in just a minute. Anyway, let's move on. What up, Jacob? What's up, Antonio? How you doing? It's Friday, baby. Let's go. What's up? Did you get my room in your new villa ready? I don't think Nick has quite made it to his new villa, as we put it, as of yet. Oceanside. Yep. What's up, James Gib? How you doing? Well, I know a house that will be up for rent for $2,800. Jesus Christ, that's insane. That is crazy insane. Let me see here. Sorry guys, I wasn't actually down here. I was upstairs. I didn't see these messages I've gotten that pertain to the show. Oh, there it is. 1 second. Hang on just a second, guys. Sorry, I'll be right back, by the way. Just 1 second. Almost done, guys. Be right there. Well, look at that, everybody.
Whoa.
I have a co-host today. What's up, Nick? How you doing?
Good, good.
there.
I'm apparently fading in the blackness in my head.
It's all good. We'll take you however. We'll take you however. So everybody, hey, it's you get one more week with two people with an interesting show instead of the boring just me, vanilla me show. So I'm sure you guys are thrilled about that. Yeah, I was looking at the comments. It looks like, yeah, you were talking about a $2,800 rent house. Jesus, that's why I don't live in a place like Miami. I'm just
Yeah, it's no joke, man. It went when I moved in here in 2019. It was $1,900, and now that was with 4 people. And now it's $2,800 in 3 years.
Jesus,
Fucking nuts.
That is insane. I mean, $1,900 is it's a house though, isn't it? It's not just like
Yeah, I mean it's a nice sized house, but you know for a fact, Jacob, that your house would never cost $2,800 a month.
No, and I mean, I'm not bragging, but I mean, I have a relatively nice house, not like a mansion or anything, but I have a relatively nice house. But hell no, especially out where I live, my house, it would never cost that. But that's
Right.
why I live out here, in the middle of nowhere, and I love it. But alrighty, well, yeah, we'll you're not you're still moving, like you. Have
Yeah,
not
yeah.
basically
I
yet
finished.
left.
My room's pretty much done, and I'll be
Yeah, I saw that
moving
video.
Sunday. So yeah.
Saw the video of your empty room. Your cat looked very sad. He was like, "What the hell's going on here? Why is all this stuff gone?" But well, let's see. Who else we got? Fright Films is here. Hopefully Nick didn't forget the password to it. Reactions and Reviews is here. What's up, Reactions and Reviews 21? Am I late? No, you're not late. I was. We were just. Yeah. Well, I wasn't late either, but Nick was late. He was 2 weeks late.
Yeah.
or a week late rather. How was your birthday? Yeah, Nick, happy birthday as of the show goes. I actually
Yeah,
said
thank
happy
you.
birthday on Tuesday's show. So
Yeah.
happy birthday again. You weren't on the show though. You were in the chat. So now you're here. I don't know where I'm going with this. Anyway, Jacob has acreage. Yeah, that's what she said. Is Nick sick? I don't think. Are you sick, Nick? Oh,
I mean,
can't hear you. Oh,
I
there
have
you
a
go.
cough. Yeah. No, I have a cough, but yeah, I'm not sick.
I'm
Just
getting over being
allergies.
sick. Like
Yeah.
my nose right here is really raw from when I was like blowing it for a week straight, and it's red. But I'm not sick anymore. All right. Well, 40 is the new 20. Nick. Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't go that far. I'd say 40 is the new 30. I don't know about 20.
Yeah.
I don't feel old, but I don't think I feel 20 anymore. But anywho, well, all right. Well, we got some. Let me. Yeah, that threw me off. Let me pull my stuff up here. I don't like has been the past few weeks now. Or the past few shows rather. I don't have any news bits, but I do have 7 stories to talk about today. No reviews, no trailer reactions, nothing like that. Just stories. I have a review I want to do, but I actually probably would have done it had I known that you were going to be here. I know it was last minute. We're happy to have you anyway, Nick. But
Yeah, I was like, damn it. My computer worked, damn it. Make this a surprise.
there you go. It was worth it. It was worth the wait. All right. Well, I guess let's so we don't waste any more time and we don't know how long we have, Nick. Let's jump into the first one. This is one I'll be well not. Yeah, I'm curious to catch your I don't even know. There's a couple of these actually I'd be curious to hear your side of, because we haven't really talked about any of these. One of them we kind of sorta did, but anyway, our first show of the oh, you know what? Okay, so when I flip over to Nick, if things look really weird, it's because I haven't set up his side of the camera angles. So if whenever I have no idea what it's going to look like when I flip over to Nick, so the background could look all kinds of crazy. But since I didn't think he was going to be there, I didn't adjust any of that stuff. Just throwing that out there to everybody. But Nick will still be there. That's what matters. Okay, so our first story of the day is that James Cameron is talking about Marvel and DC. Not just Marvel and DC, but he does specifically call them out. What could James Cameron, what could Jimmy Boy possibly be talking about with James Cameron, or with Marvel and DC? And I'm really interested to get your take on this, because I think our take will be similar, but I think maybe yours might be a little bit stronger. What did James Cameron say? Well, in an interview, he was just talking, because, you know, he's doing interviews for Avatar 2 coming up in December and everything. And he said, when I look at these big spectacular films, I'm looking at you, Marvel and DC, so he called them out directly. It doesn't matter how old the characters are. They all act like they're in college. They have relationships, but they really don't. They never hang up their spurs because of their kids. The things that really ground us and give us power, love, and a purpose. Those characters don't experience it. And I think that's not the way to make movies. He also went on to talk about Avatar 2 specifically and this subject. He said, in the first movie, Sam's character leaps off his flying creature and essentially changes the course of history as a result of this crazy, almost suicidal leap of faith. He's talking about it in the end of the movie where he jumps off on top of the dragon, the big helicopter jet thing. And Zoe's character leaps off a limb and assumes there's going to be some nice big leaves down there that can cushion her fall. But when you're a parent, you don't think that way. So for me, as a parent of 5 kids, I'm saying, what happens when those characters mature and realize that they have a responsibility outside of their own survival? Now, what I thought, people have been talking about these comments, and I agree with what he's saying as far as, like, how, yes, I wish characters typically don't in movies really grow beyond that. It's just they're heroic and stoic, regardless if they got kids or not. They really don't grow past that. And then they have kids and they just have something else to be heroic and stoic about. I do agree with him, though. Like, once you become a parent, you do kind of think about that stuff a little bit different. I mean, I used to drive like a fucking maniac, okay? I'm not a maniac. I was just more, I used to do a lot of fast driving and creative driving on the street, let's say that. And I would do things that I would never do nowadays. Not just because I think maybe I think about mortality a bit more, but also because I do. I'm not the only person that I'm worried about anymore. There's other people that depend on me, and I think that that's like somewhere in the back of the head. So I do like the idea that he's saying, hey, maybe we should take these larger-than-life characters and give them a little bit more believability and like ground them a little bit by saying, hey, when you got kids, which I know is a big thing in his new film, that you're not maybe gonna, like he said, you're not just gonna willy-nilly, as you will, jump off of a fucking flying creature and just, hey, maybe hopefully I make it, because you got other people depending on you. Now, that I do agree with. However, and I really hate that he's somewhat making me defend Marvel, I'm not going to go out on a limb and just say that Marvel has not done that at all. They kind of have. Like Iron Man with his kid. He had a kid in, what was it, Endgame? Was it? Yeah. He had a kid in Endgame. Yeah. And, you know, he made some decisions not to get back into that game. I mean, he eventually did, of course. But he tried to make decisions not to do that. You've got Ant-Man. He's got a kid who he says everything is for her. And then, of course, Hawkeye. A lot of his stuff is for his family. Now, on the flip side of that, I will say these characters are still doing, you know, the same crazy ass shit they did from before their parents. So I guess there's that whole thing. But I don't know. What do you think of these comments? Do you think there's any validity to them? And also, if his movie comes out and it's, because he's pretty much saying their stories are kind of vapid and two-dimensional, and while his stories are interesting, some of his characterizations at times, I can say, don't always age well. Some of them do.
Yeah.
But if his characters... Now, he has help writing this next one, but if his characters in this new one are pretty two-dimensional and vapid, or empty, I'm wondering how do you think these comments will age? So just all of that. What's your thoughts?
They'll age like a lead hammer. Like James Cameron says shit all the time, and whether you agree with it or not, he's gonna be like Martin Scorsese. He's gonna say something that might piss you off, might not piss you off.
Oh yeah, like his
I don't
comments
know.
about that their Marvel movies aren't cinema.
Yeah, yeah. It's like whatever, man. James Cameron, he makes a lot of money. He's gonna say what he's gonna say. If he says like they're in college, they act like they're in college. I mean, yeah, it's like a bunch of toys fighting each other. What do you expect? Or, it's like when you're young and a kid and you have like shit just banging up against each other and they have relationships and I don't know. James Cameron talks out of his ass. I can't take him seriously sometimes, but he does what James Cameron does. He makes the studio a lot of money, and yeah, there you go.
I mean, he's kind of earned the right to do that. I'll say to a degree,
Yeah.
at least he can do that. I mean, he has some of the highest, well, at least most profitable films ever made, and he's a story
Yeah.
filmmaker, so he might have a little bit of a kind of like Martin Scorsese. I mean, Martin Scorsese, he's earned, he can say what the fuck he wants. I don't have to agree with it. We don't have to agree with it, but I think he can at least say what the fuck he wants. I'm with you on that. I think the thing that really makes me go a little bit on this is that, man, if you're saying this and your movie that is about to come out pretty much does the same thing, that's gonna age like, what do they say, like spoiled milk or age like milk, whatever.
balloon.
It's not gonna come off very well if you're saying
Yeah.
this. Now, if he's saying this in like his movie, because I do think it would be interesting to kind of like, because we don't have many superhero movies or like these larger than life big blockbuster hero movies that really do kind of look at how does your life change besides, hey, there's a little person there and now I have to defend them. Besides that, in these, because that's usually what it is in these movies, they have a child or a child figure, and they just kind of, now there's just someone they have to protect. Nothing
Yeah.
really changes for them. I mean, if he shows in this new movie that, hey, there's like this paradigm shift to this change for his characters because they're now parents, I mean, that could be interesting. We haven't ever really seen that, so I mean, that could be cool. But if not, these comments are going to come back to bite him in the ass.
As they always do. I mean, it's like Denis Villeneuve talking about the discourse and taking part in it and saying that films are nothing more than cut and paste of others. I'm like, I can understand that because at least Denis Villeneuve makes good movies.
Yeah, I mean, he makes
It's funny.
wonderful films so far. He hasn't had really a
Yeah.
bomb, well, like a dud, I'll say. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Full food for thought. There's not really a lot here. It's just him talking, and we're gonna get a lot more of James Cameron talking. I will say he doesn't typically call out. Well, I haven't seen him in the past like call out specific. He will talk about the industry and he will talk about movies in like vague terms, but he rarely talks about like specific filmmakers or movies. So the fact that he flat out said, "I'm looking at you, Marvel and DC." I mean, I guess one could almost say that Marvel is its own genre almost, but
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of like, a little uncharacteristic for him to just call them out. Not uncharacteristic for him to call the industry out and call just movies as a whole. But when you say that, you could always have those movies off to the side and say, oh, he's not talking about us, though. He's talking about them.
Well, that's the funny part. Like, I think some of the best directors of all time. I listen to this podcast. I'm not going to name it by hand, or name it by name, but they talk about how Stanley Kubrick was like huge into the teardown of like society and fucking what was that, of the film industry. That's why all of his movies are so like downtrodden and mean spirited, because it's just like a straight fucking shot at Hollywood. I'm like, the biggest directors have like the biggest dicks. It's pretty funny to listen to.
Well, Stanley Kubrick would call out. He'd call out a specific fucking movie. He'd call names.
I know, right?
He was just like, fuck it. I mean, he didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
I mean, and once again, he's one of those ones. He made some of the what people would consider some of the best films in history. He's one of the greatest filmmakers in history, according to by a bunch of people. So I guess you earned that right. I guess you earned the right to be a bit of a dick. I mean, James Cameron's shown that he could be a dick. But anyway, I guess let us know in the comments below what you guys think. Do you think James Cameron's comments are going to age poorly, or do you think Avatar: Way of Water is going to come out and just be his his magnum opus of characterizations and acting. I'm sure it'll be a great, interesting, or like a really, or I hope it's going to be a really fun, entertaining, interesting sci-fi flick. But you know, like I said, Jimmy, I love you, man. I love your films, but even the ones I love, I can sometimes cringe a little bit. Edward Furlong and Terminator 2, I love Terminator 2, but man, sometimes that kid would talk and I was like, oh. I was just stop, make it stop. You know, there was some cringe dialogue there, okay, and that goes for Avatar too. But all right, yeah, let us know in the comments below what you guys think of James Cameron's comments. Okay, so let's move it along. Well, I guess real quick, what do we got here in the comments? So many more comments today because you're here, Nick. Nobody wanted to come and see one. It was just me. Grace Randolph, I saw that name up. Stole your thumbnail. She stole my thumbnail. What thumbnail? My thumbnail for
I was
today?
trying to while you were talking, I was trying to look that up, and apparently she went on the tirade about Henry Cavill. Like, why do you have to? He's like America. He's like Britain's America's sweetheart. Why are you making fun of? Why are you pissing off Henry Cavill?
Bitch. You better back
He's
up.
like the biggest nerd in video games outside of
right?
what's his face that played Deathstroke.
Well, she also she's
She's
the
an idiot.
well the first one that I knew of that ruined the whole Henry Cavill and being in Black Adam. She's the one who let that cat out of the bag. I mean, there may have been others, but she's the one I heard it from. Actually, I heard it from her through someone else. Unfortunately, I already knew about it, but admittedly, I asked somebody. I was like, "Yeah, just tell me." But
I'm surprised. I'm surprised she didn't spoil anything in Black Panther because I know she's seen it.
well, that was just last night, wasn't it? Wasn't
Yeah,
it
I
just
think
last
so.
night they did their I'm sure she
Yeah,
was.
something like that.
She does that kind of shit for clout, but you know, hey, whatever. I guess like the director thing we were talking about a minute ago. She's really big. I guess she can say and do what she wants to a degree. Anyway, all right. Well, let's move on to our second story of the day. Now, this is one that you're probably going to be more interested in than me. Let's talk about Vision and where he's going, gone, been, and what they're doing with him over at Marvel and Disney. So apparently, and this let me get it out of the way right now. This is all rumor and speculation as of now, but people are saying that it's coming from a very good source, I guess. Jeff Snyder on his podcast, The Hot Mic, claimed that Marvel Studios is working on a Vision-centric Disney Plus series. In his words, I'm told that next week, Marvel will be opening a writer's room for a Vision show titled Vision Quest, adding that this information comes to him from a good source who has been accurate in the past. Vision Quest is the same name of a story arc from 1989 published in the pages of West Coast Avengers, which saw the Avenger debut in his all-white, emotionless form. The arc also saw the introduction of a joke team called the Great Lakes Avengers, whose founder, Mr. Immortal, recently appeared in She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. Yes, he did. So what do you think of this, man?
Well, clearly they haven't seen the Matthew Modine, Linda Fiorentino movie, so I don't know what they're
That is
talking
exactly
about.
what popped up whenever I was searching for his Vision Quest.
Okay, I actually talked to you about this morning while I was working on moving. Yeah, I mean he's Vision. He's going on a quest to find color because he's white, so he needs to find color. So it's a movie, or it's a TV show about racism. What do you want, Jacob?
I'm not going to touch that.
No, honestly, you know what's gonna happen. I mean, they've literally ignored this character since WandaVision, so they need to bring it back. Paul Bettany needs another room on his house. So you know what? Give him his own show. Paul Bettany deserves it. Do I want to watch it? Not really. As we learned, I really just kind of given up on the Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. All the tweets have been put out says it's fantastic. It's the greatest movie ever. Yeah, I'll wait till I see it when I have to sit there, 2 hours and 41 minutes of nonsense. I'm sure.
Is it 2 hours and 41 minutes long?
Yeah. Some of I'm not going to call them out, but somebody posted on Twitter about how they were complaining about Babylon being 3 hours. I'm like, but Black Panther's 3 hours and 2 hours and 41 minutes. So like, why does everybody complain when Damien Chazelle makes a 3-hour movie, but when Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, or Avengers Endgame is 3 hours, nobody gives a shit? I don't know. I'm going on a tirade, but anyways, Vision Quest. It's cool. I hope Paul Bettany gets more work because he's definitely a great actor. I think he's actually one of my favorite characters in the MCU. For what it's worth, he's a character that I think is more honest than most of the characters. But I mean, he's still a Marvel character, so take it for what it's worth. I know you have feelings about this, so
Yes, I do.
yeah,
Um, when I saw this, I was like, okay, I'm not surprised. I mean, I guess I'm kind of the only reason I'm surprised, somewhat surprised, is that I had heard that Disney was going to be laying off the shows, the Disney Plus Marvel shows, and they weren't greenlighting any right now for some reason. I don't know. I guess because they've been having some issues with them. But once again, I can't substantiate that. I just heard that, and I thought it was official. I had heard it from multiple places. So I mean, there's that. But beyond that, the idea of a Vision-centric show could be cool. I mean, it's an interesting character they really haven't, gone into very much. But beyond that, I mean, especially knowing what, and I can't help but go off of where the MCU is right now, what it's done recently, and by recently I mean the past few years, since 2019. I don't care. I mean, what are they going to do with this? What I don't know. He's going on a vision quest. He's going on a quest. He's going to be like fucking Kane from Kung Fu. He's just like walk the earth, looking for what? I don't know. That the crystal, the Infinity Stone he had. I don't know. I don't know
I mean,
what
you
this
saw
could
the
be.
you saw the Ant-Man trailer, right? Did you like that trailer?
Okay, so yes, I actually did
Yeah, I
begrudgingly.
didn't like it. I thought it was boring. I'm like, this is yeah,
Well, okay, I didn't think it really did anything special. But looking at it, I like the vibe of it. But I like Ant-Man. I liked Ant-Man and Ant-Man and the Wasp. I didn't think they were like monumental films, but I thought they were enjoyable.
Yeah.
And I do, I do skew a little bit more towards sci-fi things. I like sci-fi. That's probably my favorite genre. Sci-fi and fantasy is probably my favorite genre overall. So since that one looks like it's really, and that's probably why I liked Loki, because Loki was lots of sci-fi and like jumping around in these weird, interesting places. And it gave me that vibe a little bit. Now, I'm not sold on it. And I mean, granted, the trailer just was CGI. I mean, I'd say the trailer was probably 95% CGI, including
That's
the
why.
people.
That's why I like stuff like Andor, man. You get shit like this, and everything's fucking green screen, and the volume. And Andor's like, hey, we're gonna go to real places and show real things, and fuck it. I don't know. Anyways,
Oh, no, I'm with you.
I'm
I
gonna go
think
on a
Andor
rant.
looks.
It's been a while since I've been on, so
Oh, no, you're fine. I think Andor looked fantastic. And I love those
Yeah.
practical things. I saw a movie the other day that I haven't publicly done a review yet that was all practical, and I thought that was fantastic. I was like, wow, it's really refreshing to see that. Now, I mean, when it comes to
Well-
sci-fi settings and stuff,
yeah.
not to say you can't do them practically, but you accept nowadays, especially, there's going to be a certain level of CGI in it. And I will say that the movie was just CGI fest. I mean, the trailer was
Yeah.
just CGI fest, but the setting and everything, I like the setting, but that doesn't mean I like the movie. I mean, I have no idea. I was more excited for that trailer than pretty much any other MCU trailer I've seen for quite some time. Like quite some
Right.
time. But I fully acknowledge it's just because of the genre and the setting. It's sci-fi.
Yeah.
You got sci-fi, and I'm already going to be a little on board with it a little bit. But I get where you're coming from, that it was just kind of boring, because it was nothing. It was just more shit on the screen. Didn't really tell you much as far as like story and all that. And you don't want a trailer to give away too much story, but you do want it to kind of like give you a little idea of what you're getting into. This is just, hey, Ant-Man's back, and they go to the quantum zone. That's it.
Yeah, what the fuck is up with? Anyways, so Vision Quest.
Yeah, Vision
I don't know
Quest,
what the fuck's up with that. Yeah,
Yeah, Vision Quest, I don't know. This could be, I guess it could be cool, but so could anything that Marvel puts out nowadays. I am not initially excited about this, and that all goes down to where Marvel's been. They just haven't shown. They've proven to me so far for the past couple of years now that there's nothing to be excited about. Now, I do hope they turn that around, and if they do, then I'll start getting excited when I see their trailers again and hearing news like this. But as of right now, no, I'm not excited about this. I don't really give a shit. They're gonna. My subconscious mind tells me that no, they're just gonna bring this character in. They're gonna have a lot of like potential, and they're just gonna squander it all. But hey, I hope they don't. I mean, I could totally see that they'll be doing this, because it looks like they're just throwing everything at the wall trying to find the right thing. Wasn't WandaVision just a few months ago?
no, it was January of 2021. It was over. It was almost
was
2
that
years ago.
2021? That's right. It
Yeah.
wasn't this summer. Yeah,
It
I
was
guess
the
it
first
was
thing
over
to
a
come
year
back after the pandemic. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was over after. I kept feeling like it was this past summer, but no, it was. It was over a year ago. Okay, so well, yeah, and by the time this comes out, I guess it would have been a little while. So there's that.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, well, you guys out there, who are you guys excited about a possible Vision show? I mean, is there? I mean, I'm not familiar with the comic book either. The 1989 comic book that this could possibly be based on. Do you think that this could be cool? I mean, anything could be cool. How about that's not really the right question. Are you excited about the prospect of a Vision show in the current MCU, or are you just kind of like, I'm fucking over it? I'm honestly over it, but we'll see. Let us know in the comments below what you guys think. All right. Let's move on. Oh, this is one. I know you're aware of this story as well. This is more of an informative thing, and I just want to kind of get your thoughts on it while you're here. And Sausage Party is coming back. For those of you that know anything about Sausage Party, Prime Video has announced an order for a new animated series called Sausage Party Foodtopia, based on the feature of the same name. Vernon Sanders, head of global television at Amazon Studios, said the original Sausage Party was an incredibly hilarious, outrageous, one-of-a-kind entry into the world of animation. We are thrilled to collaborate again with Seth Rogen, Evan Goldberg, and their team at Point Grey, as well as our partners at Annapurna Television and Sony Pictures Television, to offer a new look into the world that will be brought to life so vividly for our global Prime Video customers. The original film cast members Seth Rogen, Kristen Wiig, Michael Cera, David Krumholtz, and Edward Norton are all returning. Noticeably absent is Selma Hayek, who voiced the Mexican lesbian taco, Teresa del Taco. But funny folks Will Forte, Sam Richardson, Natasha Rothwell, and Yasir Lester have all been slated to join the team. There is no release date as of yet that I saw. I could be wrong. I didn't see a release date, but I think it's coming relatively soon. Nick, did you like Sausage Party, the movie?
I have a confession. I haven't actually watched Sausage Party.
Ooh.
I watched the last 10 minutes of it, but I haven't actually watched the whole thing.
One, I gotta add, because this
I
came
don't-
out.
Honestly, it came out. I was gonna watch it in the theater, just never went. Just kind of forgot about it. Then I realized I kept hearing about the last 10 minutes of this movie, and I'm like, oh, I should probably watch it. I'm like, oh, okay. It's yeah, that's a
Yeah.
thing.
It's that last 10 minutes, I'd say, is pretty indicative of the film. Indicative. Well, yeah, it's for those of you that, like Nick, who haven't seen it. I'm surprised. I figured you'd seen it. For those of you that have not seen Sausage Party is a 3D animated, Pixar-esque animated adult film. Very R-rated. In fact, it was rated NC-17, but had to make a lot of cuts, apparently, to get it down to that, which I could see that, because that movie was fucking raw. It was raunchy as hell. Pretty much, they made it as raunchy as they possibly could. I mean, you can even look at some of these characters in the background, and you can't see her behind me. The hot dog bun is more or less, let me see. She's a goddamn vagina. And the hot dog is always wanting to get into the bun, so there's that. But yeah, they have a new show coming to Amazon Prime, which I assume is going to be just as raw and raunchy, if not more so, because they won't really have to adhere to any type of MPA standards. They can just do whatever the hell they want. I mean, whatever Amazon allows them to do. So, yeah, myself, I thought Sausage Party was fine. It had funny moments. The funniest part about Sausage Party was the fact that they made this children's looking animated film, and it's just full of like adult humor, like hardcore adult humor. That's the funniest joke in the whole movie. The movie itself is fine. It's funny. It's got haha moments. I don't know if I want to see a show about it though. Honestly, I wonder if a show's going to get a little bit kind of old and long in the tooth, as they say. Are you interested in watching Foodtopia there, Nick?
Yeah. I mean, if I get to it, I guess if they send it to me for review, I'll watch it. I mean, I'm not adhere. I watched Terrifier 2 last night, so I'm not adhered to like really fucked up shit.
Oh,
so.
did you?
I did. Yes. I am not adhere to watching fucked up shit. That's what I will say about Terrifier 2.
I'm sure you're gonna do a review. Are you doing a review of it?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I just watched it because I needed something to do. So yeah, I'm not adhere to watching fucked up shit. That's what I'll say.
Because I just watched the first. Yeah, I just watched the first Terrifier the other day.
Yeah.
For the first time. Did you like Terrifier 2?
My only problem with it is it goes on for way too long. It could have been 90 minutes and
Yeah,
been
it's over
good,
2 hours long, isn't it?
yeah, it's like 2 hours and 20 minutes, and like it has a big credit sequence. It's like 6 minutes long, so yeah,
Really?
it's long.
Damn.
Yeah, but it has like if you're into like real crazy effed up horror, like if Rob Zombie were doing like whoever the director of Serbian film is, that's kind of what we're looking into. Not that kind of crazy with Serbian film, but Rob Zombie went that far, like with just
Yeah.
the gore and violence. So like
Well, the
Gaspar
first
Noé or
one
something.
was pretty rough at times. Not as bad as, you know.
Yeah.
I think this one's I think they outdid themselves here. I haven't seen it, but from what I
Yeah.
understand, they've outdone themselves. Whoop, running out of time. Okay, well, yeah. Anyway, how about you guys out there? Any Sausage Party fans out there? Just let us know in the comments below if you're interested in this. If you're looking forward to the new Sausage Party Foodtopia series coming to Amazon Prime at some time in the near future. Okay, so let's. What do I have here? We're going to pause for just a second so me and Nick can reset our Zoom call because we're about to run out of time. So literally that will only take maybe like 60 seconds. So you guys give us just a moment and we'll be right back. Oh, there he is. We're back. All right. Okie dokie. Yeah, this is just like the shoot from the hip show. Anyway, what are we saying up here? I see somebody talking about Premiere Pro. WandaVision kind of sucked, so I'm not excited. I hear you, Fright Films. I wasn't a fan of WandaVision either. I know Nick enjoyed it. That was your favorite out of all the Disney Plus shows, wasn't it? The Disney Plus Marvel shows.
Yeah, I mean Miss Marvel I liked a lot, but yeah, that was probably the one I enjoyed because I liked what it did. So
I thought Miss Marvel was okay. I thought
yeah,
it kind of lost its way a little bit. But it never got terrible. I'll give it that. And Miss Marvel was okay. I thought it was fine. I haven't seen Hawkeye, and I haven't seen the one with Poe Dameron in it. I get Intel, then because of the PC based editing. And you guys are just all over the place with these conversations, which is great. We're talking about computers. We're talking about Marvel. Zoom going non-free with two people. So yeah, I don't. We're not even using it to record, so that's kind of irritating. But whatever. And we have a Zoom account, but we were having issues accessing it. By the way, everybody, but now we're on our paid account. We got it all squared away. So hopefully we should have it I actually had an opportunity earlier today to fix all these issues, but I didn't know. I thought it was going to just be me, so I was like, never mind. I'm not going to. Yeah, kind of wish I had now. Also, that sucks. Zoom going over. Yeah. All right, let's jump into the next thing. I keep hitting this fucking button. I'm gonna fuck something up.
Don't do it, Jacob. Don't do it.
I'm gonna do it. Ooh, this is one that I mean, I like this subject. Let's see what you think. I don't think you're gonna like this subject as much. Let's talk about Happy Superman. Look at him. He's so
the
happy.
face is I know, right?
But yeah, Henry Cavill, as many of you know, if you don't know by now, by the way, there will inevitably be some possible spoilers for Black Adam in this, but I don't think there's anybody out there that doesn't already know this Black Adam spoiler. So
Yeah.
when I say that, if you're like, what possibly could you be talking about? You probably, and you don't want any spoilers,
The Rock.
probably want to click off for about 5 minutes. This won't be a long story, but I'm gonna try and not mention them, but it's just part of the story. I can't help it. Henry Cavill, in an October 24th social media post, confirmed that he is returning as Superman in a new Warner Brothers DC movie. The actor wrote to his fans, "I wanted to make it official. I am back as Superman. Thank you for your support and thank you for your patience. I promise it will be rewarded." Now, I talked about this, I think last week and maybe even the week before that, Henry Cavill, he's coming back. They're doing a Man of Steel 2. He's also already made an appearance in something that shall remain unnamed. Now, 2 days later, after that official announcement from him, and he had like a picture of his Superman outfit, Cavill spoke publicly. "The character means so much to me. It's been 5 years now. I never gave up hope." Cavill told the audience, "It's amazing to be here now talking about it again. There's such a bright future ahead for the character. I'm so excited to tell a story with an enormously joyful Superman." On the subject of him suiting up for the role in this appearance that he made, I am really trying not to Grace Randolph this thing for people, but I went to Warner Brothers Studio in the UK and got back in the suit, Cavill said. "It was a very powerful moment for me. I wasn't sure how I would feel, whether it would be something very emotionally connective because I got the Man of Steel suit back on. I chose that one in particular because of the nostalgia attached to the suit. It was important for me to be standing there and enjoying that moment. That is one of the top moments in my career. It feels great to have the opportunity to wear it again." About the half decade he spent waiting for the news about playing Superman again, "I told myself I'm going to let it sit in and simmer in the background. I never lost hope, and that was the key for me." When asked of the status of the new Superman movie and if there were any writers and directors circling the project, Cavill responded, "I can't tell you that." Anyway, this is mainly what I wanted to talk. We know most of this stuff pretty much. He's just kind of commenting on it. However, the comment that people have been talking about is his comment up here saying that this is going to be an enormously joyful Superman. "I'm so excited to tell a story with an enormously joyful Superman." I think, that could mean a lot of things. A lot of people are saying, he's going to be happy Superman. He's going to be because Zack Snyder's Superman, the Superman that he is, but the way he's been portrayed is kind of dark and brooding up to this point, with some exception. So people took this as, he's going to be super happy and inspiring and all that, which Superman is, admittedly. Maybe not this iteration of Superman, but Superman has, look at Christopher Reeve, things like that. He's supposed to be inspirational and things like that. I'm okay with that, but I don't necessarily think his comments mean that. They may, and he might, let up a little bit and not be as dark and brooding. But I feel like he's just saying that, hey, I'm super fucking happy to be doing this. Everybody's just happy that Superman's coming back. I don't know if it necessarily means that the Superman that they're going to be portraying moving forward is going to be a joyful, happy, "Hey guys, I'm Superman and I'm here to save," or whatever. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. How did you take these comments, Nick? Do you think that that's the direction they're going to go, or do you think that this was just him kind of saying that, hey, we're all happy Superman's back, or he's back?
Well, I was say, ironically, last night, as I was laying, just kind of, I was looking through YouTube. Josh Horowitz, who does a Sad Happy Whatever podcast, they did a live show with Henry Cavill, and he talked about like how excited he was to come back, but he couldn't really say anything. So I keep hearing they say it's going to be a more joyful Superman. So I don't know where that was said, but what's cool about it is if they can get the right director and they can do, they don't have to make it like Christopher. Everybody wants a Christopher Reeve Superman, but you don't need a Christopher Reeve Superman. You just need Henry Cavill to be in a movie that people will enjoy because he's a perfect Superman. He's very charismatic. He's definitely good looking as hell. He's a guy that cares about the character a lot, and him saying that if he did say it's going to be more joyful, then I think he just means that the character will have more fun. He'll be more entertaining to watch. It doesn't mean they can't go into the darkness because Superman 2 was
Yeah.
a pretty dark film. I mean, Man of Steel had some lightness to it, but I think it was just too dour for its own good. But yeah, that's what
I think
he's
it's
not
the
saying that it's going to
overall
be.
tone of Zack Snyder's
Yeah,
Snyderverse or whatever. It was just kind of gray
Yeah.
and dark.
yeah, because what I would like is like if they did like not the R-rated R-rated humor, but like a Suicide Squad, level of just like fun action. Superman, beating up bad guys. Superman just having a good time. Maybe he goes to a bar, fucks a woman on the side. I don't know. It just
I want to see that.
yeah. But no, I mean
That's like something from the
I-
boys.
right. No, but yeah, Superman needs to be just a character that everybody can like. It's like Rocky, Superman's like Rocky. It needs to be a character that we can all enjoy and have fun with and feel like we have a connection to. He doesn't, even though he's a god. I think my worry is that, like when they go Superman, spoiler alert, when they go Superman Black Adam, it's gonna be a little too dark and dour. I want more of just like a fun, more fun entertainment. I don't need a
even with
yeah.
Black Adam. Because I mean, I don't think it's too out of the box to say that maybe Black Adam signifies at least a somewhat of a direction that the DCU now, which we'll talk about in a minute, that the DCU is moving. They're getting away from those super dull gray kind of emo
Yeah.
tones and all that. Even Black Adam, while he was kind of one note and two dimensional, honestly, his character, there was still some comedic moments, some levity, not comedic, not like Marvel comedy, but there was some levity to his character at least. It wasn't just like, oh my god, this guy's just oppressed all the time.
Yeah.
Or I mean, I thought so. I know you didn't think the film as much as I did. I enjoyed it. You didn't.
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
But do you think that the character was like all dark and dour the whole time?
Are you talking about like Man of Steel and Batman vs
No,
Superman?
Black Adam. The Black
Oh,
Adam
Black
film.
Adam. No, Black Adam was just retarded. Or I'm sorry, no, I should say that. That would make that's a very bad statement to say. Black Adam's a very stupid movie. It's a entertaining movie for what it's worth, but it's a. I want if they're going to make a Man of Steel 2, I want to have it be competent. I don't want it to be The Rock, showing off his how much he has a bulging fucking whatever.
Showing
I just
off them
want it to
traps.
be. Yeah, I don't care about that shit. I just want. Honestly, I just want a Superman that I can go, you know what? That was a good time. That was fun. I don't need no fucking Black Adam. That shit was ridiculous.
I liked Black Adam. there was a part though in that movie where it showed him from behind, like early in the movie
Yeah.
when it was showed him from behind. He was sitting in the living room of the people. His, I guess that's your traps. It looked like he was about to explode out of that suit, and that was just him.
Oh,
was like
what you're talking about up here, right?
Yeah,
It looked like they didn't have enough fabric for him. I was like, what the hell?
like they
Like,
sized
they
that
give this
suit
guy
to
a
him
cape.
10 years ago. I mean, like,
Yeah.
the rest of it was fine, but right here, it looked like he was literally about to explode. Like, I took my 2-year-old and put her in a 6 to 9 month onesie. I mean, I was like, holy shit, he's about to pop. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Yeah, I didn't take this as that. Oh, this is going to be joyful, happy-go-lucky Superman. And a lot of people are kind of
Yeah.
running with that. I just took it as and nothing honestly as far as the character is going to go. I think that the character probably will be a little bit more. There will be a bit more levity to the films moving forward. I think, hopefully not to the point of Marvel films, but I think there will be a bit more of that. I think he was just talking about the overall joy.
Yeah.
Of
No,
being
he's
back.
not saying there won't be darkness to it. I mean, it's fucking Superman. There is darkness to Superman. I think more people want like a more light-hearted tone to
Yes.
Superman. I think that's what he wants to go for, more
Yeah.
light-hearted.
Because I mean, some of
Yeah.
the Zack Snyder films, by the time you were to the end, you kind of wanted to shoot yourself.
Yeah.
I enjoy them. I know you don't think about them as highly as I do, but I enjoyed them for what they were. But admittedly, it was just kind of like, man, I'm kind of depressed. I need a palate cleanser after watching those sometimes. But what do you guys think? Do you think that, or what do you want? Do you want happy, Christopher Reeve Superman, always, just boy in blue kind of Superman, or do you want a little bit of that Zack Snyder darkness? I think it needs to be somewhere in the middle of me myself, personally, and hopefully that's what we get. But let us know in the comments below what you guys are looking forward to and what you think about his comments. Do you think he was referring to the character and the tone of the films, or do you think he was just referring to the overall feel that, hey, I'm joyful, I'm happy, and this guy's coming back and he's super happy to be back as Superman? All right. Let's see. What do I got next? What do I got next? Ooh, this is you actually last week, it was late breaking news at the end of my show. I was by myself, but Nick was in the comments. Actually, Nick is the one who broke it to me that James Gunn was taking over the DC as the DC's Kevin Feige. Well, and that was a last minute thing. I was really just reading it. We got a little bit more information on that now. And this is the first bit for today, and that would be that Kevin Feige, he's the Kevin Feige of Marvel.
Yeah.
He is wishing James Gunn well in his future endeavors, which I didn't really expect him to be like, fuck that guy. But, he's apparently, at least what he's letting us know, wishing us well. He did have some comments that I thought were interesting. He said, Feige wished Gunn well in his new job. In his words, I speak to James almost every day, said Feige. We have a wonderful thing called the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special coming out. We have a wonderful thing called Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 coming out in May. How he'll have any time to work on DC until May, I don't know. But once he does have time, I'll be very excited. I'll be first in line. That's cool. That's professional, and that's good to hear him say
Yeah.
that. Gunn returns to DC to basically be their versions of Kevin Feige. Does this mean Gunn and Feige will become rivals? That is unlikely, as both men have long insisted that there's no competition between Marvel Studios and DC Films. Okay, that's horseshit. I mean, it's horseshit in the way that you're going to say that DC and Marvel, yeah, they're not rivals at all. They're definitely rivals. Now, they do say no competition. I will say at this point in time, I wouldn't say no competition, but yeah, probably Marvel versus DC. Yeah, Marvel's beating that ass. It just is what it is as far as the cinematic universes go. However, now that James Gunn, they've got somebody over there who does care about the properties. Somebody who's going to take care of what's going on over there and have a singular vision for it all. I do wonder if that could change, if that dynamic could change. Right now, yeah, there's no competition. But maybe in 5, 6, 7, 8 years, DC could, especially if Marvel keeps going the way they're going, in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinion, I think. I do wonder if we could be in a very different landscape come 2027 or 8. Maybe DC will be the big dick in town. Or I don't think Marvel's going to go away that quick or anything. But I do wonder where we'll be in a few years, because we're not going to see any fruits of this labor of James Gunn coming in. He doesn't take over until November 1st, which is a few days. We're not going to really see those fruits for at least a couple of years. That's when the stuff will start rolling out. Do you think that with him in charge, and it's him and I can't remember the other guy's name, honestly. It's 2 guys in charge. But a singular vision, if you will, that DC could actually come up and start to actually rival Marvel?
I mean, as we've seen,
realistically, how about that? Anything's possible. Realistically,
yeah. No. Seriously, like think about the 2 films that two things that James Gunn has done for DC. They're considered like 2 of the best properties for DC. The problem here is I think DC will be much better handled. I hope so, but I mean anything's possible. I mean it could be a shit show for all we know. But I think it's funny when people like the people in the creator space and the VP and the executive space, they don't give a shit about what they're like they're rivals, of course, but Kevin Feige knows that like he has a friend in James Gunn, so if Kevin Feige decides to quit, he can go over and work for fucking DC for all he cares. It's just I like how people, yeah, I like how yeah. I like how people are like these like super fans are like, oh my god, James Gunn's going over to DC. Kevin Feige's gonna be so pissed. Kevin Feige's like he's a guy there to make money. He don't give a shit. He's actually apparently a huge DC fan as well. He's there to make money. He's a fan of comic books. He knows that he loves Batman, Superman. He's like he's happy because James Gunn went from doing trauma films to being the head of fucking DC now. So it's like they don't care. But do I think DC can do something? Of course, yeah. Anything's possible in this day and age.
Now,
James.
I truly don't think that Kevin Feige is upset about James Gunn taking over at DC. In fact, I mean, if you believe some of the rumors, and it's not a ton of them, but some rumors saying Feige's unhappy or overworked and possibly unhappy with the state of things, and just the actual state of things. I mean, Kevin Feige might be sitting there saying, hey James, keep my number. I might need somewhere to go at some point, but I don't think he's upset. I do think Disney is. I think Disney's absolutely upset because James Gunn has made. He's made now 4 things, 2 of which we haven't seen yet. But he made Guardians and Guardians 2, both of which were very well received, especially Guardians of the Galaxy. Nobody thought that was going to be good. They're like, Guardians of what?
Yeah, that's what I said. I love. Here's what happened. Well, no, I remember when they announced all these all these like Phase 2 or Phase 3 or whatever Guardians came out. I'm like, what the fuck is Guardians of the Galaxy? And I heard James Gunn was doing it. I'm like, holy shit, I want to see this movie now. I had no idea what the fuck Guardians of the Galaxy was.
That's why I wanted to see it.
Yeah, there was like a tree and a raccoon. I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah. Now we have fucking whatever we have. It's like I don't know.
We're like, is this a joke? But it wasn't. I mean, he did a really good job with it. And the second one, I think some people had a few complaints about it, but it still did well. I enjoyed the second one. The third one's, I assume, going to be good. And then he's got this holiday special. So yeah, I think Disney. I think there was at least a part of James Gunn that was probably still a little bit sour about how Disney treated him over some tweets he made over a decade earlier. That honestly, well, yeah, they may have been in bad taste. They weren't that bad. I mean, I've seen much worse things on Twitter. But, so maybe that, he was like, Disney might not have my back. They do today because I'm making them a little bit of cheddar right here at this moment and people are on my side. But who's to say
Bob Chapek don't give a shit about anyone.
No, but he's probably like, I went to DC and they were cool. They let me do whatever the hell I wanted. So that probably was part of it. And Disney probably is like, motherfucker, fuck you, DC. But I think I think it's cool that Feige is at least keep saving face there and being cool about it and having that professional courtesy, telling his friend good luck in your endeavors and all that. I do think though, I think it is a possibility. If you had asked me a few years back, I would have been like, I hope so, because I think DC has a better stable of characters, especially villains. I think their characters seem a little bit more original overall, and especially the ones we've gotten in the cinematic era. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, but the fact of the matter is Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, these are DC characters.
Yeah.
That's...
The only thing I have problems with, like, Superman is it doesn't feel like he has... They had to like invent kryptonite for him to have no OP, so it always felt like a little weird to me. That's why I was never like a bored with Superman, but I've always loved Batman because he felt more realistic.
Yeah, he's one of the most. Batman is one of the most famous. I would say he's got to be one of the top 5 famous characters, comic book characters on Earth. Probably in the top 3. So, DC is the one who owns the Joker, the Penguin, these villains, besides the ones that have shown up in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Did a lot of people know, did the greater mass know who Thanos was prior to the MCU?
Nobody knew who fucking Iron Man was, let alone Thanos.
I was aware of Iron Man, but I didn't really know anything about him. He was a B-level character.
My friend who I'm still good friends with was a huge Iron Man fan. That's the only reason I knew of Iron Man. Otherwise, I'm a huge Wolverine fan. But I didn't know these B tier characters. I didn't know Thor was a character. I didn't know. I mean, I knew Captain America was a character, but like these characters, you have no idea who they
There
are.
was a reason that Spider-Man, X-Men, things like that were bought by
Yeah.
other companies from Marvel for cinematic reasons, and years ago, and Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America were not. Now they did
Yeah.
great things with them. They came in and they made movies that defied logic. That shouldn't have been good, but ended up. They did great things with their cinematic universe. But I'm just wondering, is this the beginning of DC doing great things with theirs? Because they've had a rough run of it. They've had some great
You're-
DC movies, but man, their cinematic universe has just not been able to come together.
Well, no, to be absolutely honest, I mean, look at it. We had Joker, we had Suicide Squad, we had Harley Quinn, we had Peacemaker. Tell me
Peacemaker was
four
so good.
of phase. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Tell me four Phase 4 Marvel shows or movies that have been excellent.
And you know who's in
That have-
charge of a few of those? James Gunn. So,
Right.
yeah, I mean,
Exactly.
I think he was the right guy. I never saw it coming. I think he was the
Yeah.
right guy to put in charge. I do. I'm really curious to see what this is going to do with them, which we're going to talk more about that in a
Yeah.
minute. But I think that we could see a big change in DC, the DC Marvel dynamic, because it's always been, since this whole universe, expanded universe comic book movie thing started, it's always been Marvel's just been on top, and DC's been like all over the place. I think that honing all that in, I think we could actually be getting some really cool movies. I just hope they don't become Marvel. I don't want them to become Marvel movies. That's not what I'm after. But what do you guys think out there? Do you think that DC has a chance to kick a legitimate chance to kick Marvel in the pants? Do you think that Kevin Feige just wants James Gunn to keep his number in his phone just in case he might want to jump ship at some point? And just overall, what do you think about the state of DC and all that? Let us know in the comments below. Okay, speaking of DC, we're going to jump right into another DC story that is similar, but has a little bit different information, and that would be that actually, before we do that, let me look up here in our comment section. I've been trying to pay closer attention to that. Looks like Antonio said Dark Superman. Now I ain't gonna lie, I don't want to, and this is part of the show. This isn't gonna be something I clip out. That whole idea. I know you don't like Zack Snyder's Snyderverse and all that, but their Justice League ideas, some of them were crazy. But the basic idea for their part 2 and 3, where Superman was gonna be the villain, and there was some other weird shit with
They were going
babies.
Infamous.
Huh?
They were going to Justice.
Yeah, Justice League, because in the end of
Well, no, they were going to like the Injustice movies, weren't they? Were they going to go that route?
Well, yes and no. I mean, he was going to be the bad guy, but not in the way that he was in Injustice. It was going to be that Darkseid turned him bad, and Batman. I can't remember. Lois died, so that aspect of the
Yeah.
Injustice movies or Injustice games game was part of it. That's what drove him over the edge, which is kind of scary because that's the only thing keeping him in check is that Lois Lane is alive. So, but she dies, and then he just loses his shit and goes ape shit. But Darkseid is controlling him to a degree too, and Batman, or no, it was something like Batman got. They thought, what it was while he was dead from BVS. In between there, Lois Lane and Bruce Wayne got together. She gets pregnant, and there's a scene there's some things that are left in Zack Snyder's Justice League that show that was a plot thread there. And she gets pregnant, and in the second film, I guess second Justice League movie, she was supposed to have Batman's baby. And Batman dies, and I guess his kid takes over as him. And Aquaman dies, but what's her name comes takes his place, Heard. And just it was an interesting idea, the whole Superman being the bad guy thing, because you even see it in that Wasteland flashback scene or whatever with the Joker that they added in at the Zack Snyder's Justice League. You see Superman off in the distance with the red eyes.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be that was all supposed to happen in the second movie. I thought that idea could be cool. So I don't know.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, they're not going that direction with it. But I thought the idea was something. I'll give it that. It was something different, and I was down with that. It sounded fucking crazy. You can see the I don't know if the full scripts are out there, but they were written. But like the story synopsis that tell all these details, you can look. There was some crazy shit they were throwing in there. It was going to get really fucking crazy. But anyway, all right, let's jump into this second to last story here. The new DC, or DCEU, as it's been called for the past few years since they've been trying to make this DC extended universe, their cinematic universe, a thing. It is apparently no longer the DCEU. Now, when I read the initial story of James Gunn taking over, it did say in there, and I did make note that, hey, they're calling it the DCU here, not the DCEU. That's interesting. Well, it is official now. It is no longer called the DCEU. They are calling it the DCU, meaning DC Universe. Warner Brothers Discovery has declared the shared universe of DC films and shows once known as the DCEU will now be referred to officially as the DC Universe. Said label will extend to all DC projects, live action and animated, and Gunn and Safran develop under their watch. Its canon will not, however, extend to those that are tied to older releases that fell outside of the DCEU's purview, namely the upcoming sequels to the Joker and the Batman. The duo will be inheriting a slew of completed and in production projects when they formally begin their positions on November 1st, and it's unclear what direction they will be taking the studio. The universe built out by Gunn and Safran will not include the upcoming Joker Folie à Deux, Joker 2. The Batman sequel, the Robert Pattinson one, has been officially greenlit amidst the director's Matt Reeves' massive first look deal, but the script is still firmly in the writing stage. Because of this, the actual sequel won't arrive in theaters until 2025 at the earliest. It's not entirely clear which duo will be overseeing its project. Speaking of the Batman, Reeves envisioned his Batman to exist in a separate universe from the mainline DCEU, making star Robert Pattinson an entirely different Bruce Wayne than Ben Affleck. However, with Gunn and Safran now in control of DC Studios, there is a chance that Reeves' vision will be changed. Perhaps Pattinson will end up being the main DCEU or DCU's Batman after all. So yeah, big changes over at DC, not just a name, but other things as well. We already knew that stuff, but getting a little bit of light shed on things. I'm gonna say I don't want that. Like, I'm okay with everything they said there. As far as the Batman is concerned, I don't need that to be tied to the DCU, if you will. I'm okay with them not green-lighting anymore, like, if they're going to try and make this unified world, I'm okay with them saying, okay, we're not going to do any more outside of the DCU projects for DC. I mean, I'd be okay if they did it too, but I understand they're trying to like reel it all in and make it less confusing. I don't want them to make Robert Pattinson's Batman part of the DCU because I don't necessarily want the DCU as a whole. I don't want all the movies to be in the vein of the Batman, but I don't want the Batman to be in the vein of all the other DC movies. I'm okay with those two being separate. And even this Joker film. I mean, it's two movies. Leave them alone. I mean, I guess there's always the opportunity we'll get a third the Batman movie. But just let those kind of be their thing. I think people understand the difference in them right now. Just go along with because they're saying Ben Affleck is back as Batman. I don't know how true that is, but whoever you have as your mainline DCU Batman, just let that happen. I mean, that's me. Would you want to see Robert Pattinson as the DCU's Batman?
Fuck no. That is all. No, like fuck no.
All right, moving on to the next story.
No, seriously, like leave him be as his own thing. Why does he need to be fucking in the universe? Like let him be like the Joker. Let him do his own thing. Make another fucking Batman. Like everything has to be fucking connected. Why does everything have to be connected? It's like they're trying to make Joker connected. Like, no, stop making the shit connected. God damn.
I do think it would be interesting, though, that with these two being separate, because for now they're separate, but we don't. The Joker will be separate.
Yeah.
The Batman 2, or whatever they call it, Could maybe, maybe not. If it is separate, I do find it interesting because in the Batman, as we've learned in deleted scenes, I don't know if it'll be the Batman 2, but they have a Joker of their own in that world. So
Yeah.
if DCU has their Batman, be it Affleck or not, surely they will have a Joker at some point. So we're gonna have DCU's Joker, we're gonna have Joker, and then we're gonna have the Batman Joker. There's gonna be fucking Joker all over the place. At that point, maybe they should reel in the Joker and be like, "Hey, the Batman, maybe not do the Batman, or maybe not do the Joker, do somebody else." But yeah, I'm cool with everything they said here. Like I said, name change, all that. I always thought the DCEU was kind of stupid anyway. I didn't really understand that. Apparently, that name started with Entertainment Weekly. They dubbed it that, and everybody just ran with it. So I'm cool with them just calling it the DCU. I'm fine with that. Whatever. I'm cool with them having. I think it's a good thing that they have these two guys unified. Everything is under one banner, and they are in charge of all of it. I'm cool with that. I think that's good. It worked for Marvel. That's what DC and Warner Brothers need. But since that's not where they're coming from, they're not starting from that place. I don't want them to fuck with the Batman. I like the Batman. I want another The Batman, but I want it to just be Matt Reeves' The Batman. Just leave it alone. Make your own Batman movie. Call it the Dark. Well, they already called it The Dark Knight. I don't know. The Darker Knight. Something like that. Just leave the Batman alone. I doubt Joker's going to get a third movie. I mean, he might. I didn't think it was going to get a second movie.
It should have. Yeah, I don't think it should have gotten a second movie, but
Yeah,
whatever.
it might be awesome, but they were always going along saying, we're not doing a sequel. We're against the sequels. Now we're getting a sequel, but whatever. Anyway, yeah, that's just really, like I said, it's just kind of like informative, letting everybody know that it is official now. It's called the DCU, DC Universe, which is already a brand, by the way. DC Universe is a game. It's a massively multiplayer online game called DC Universe. Just throwing that out there. And they have DC Universe Studios, which is not a thing, but was a thing. So they're just using that name again. It's kind of confusing. Come on, get your shit together, DC. But let us know in the comments below if you think that, I guess the big question here is, should Robert Pattinson's Batman be a part of the DCU or remain his own thing? Let us know. All right, everybody, we're almost done. I wish I'd had more stuff if I'd known you were going to be here, Nick.
Out of our badge.
It's all good. We're just happy you're here. All right. Ooh, this is all right. I saved the best for last, everybody. The one with the most talking points and the most possibly controversial. I'd be interested, as I am with all stories, interested to know your take on this. But I really honestly don't know which way you're going to go with this one. I know which way I go.
I go left.
Left?
Oh.
It's I don't know which way. Well, let's just jump into it. The Fast and the Furious.
Oh God.
I know you love the Fast and the Furious movies, Nick. Nick
yeah.
doesn't so much love the Fast and the Furious movies, or at least the later ones. You haven't been a huge fan of. All right, well, they are big. They're big business. Fast and Furious is a big deal. Lots of people love them. I enjoy them. I enjoyed the last Fast and Furious. Fully acknowledge it is ridiculous as hell. They went to the fucking moon, or went to space. They actually did it. You know that we're not talking about that. We're going to talk about a little bit about Fast X or Fast 10. That's the new Fast and Furious film, which may or may not be 2 movies. I get conflicting reports here. It was originally supposed to be 2 more Fast movies to round out the whole thing, and that was the end of the saga. Now they're saying it's 1, and then I read that it might be 2. Maybe it's going to be Fast X Part 1, Part 2. I don't know. We're getting 2 more movies as I'm reading here. But there could be more. If you think they're going to leave all that money on the table and not do more stuff, you are crazy. But what could they possibly be doing with that? Well, if you ask some people, it would be a female Fast and Furious. Yep, it's a thing. Let's talk about it real quick. In a recent interview, Universal Pictures film chief Donna Langley affirmed that she'd love to see a female Fast. I would love to see a female Fast, Langley said. Further adding, so would Vin Diesel. We have so many great and amazing female characters in our franchise. And now there's the new addition of Brie Larson to add to the incredible roster. I would love to see us do a female Fast. The female cast of Fast and Furious includes strong female characters such as Michelle Rodriguez, Jordana Brewster, Gal Gadot, Nathalie Emmanuel, butchered that, Helen Mirren, and so many more, with the latest addition being Brie Larson, and has now spanned into 9 movies, short movies, and television series, among others. What television series? No wonder fans would like to see an all-female ensemble. That's what the article said. No wonder fans would like to see an all-female ensemble. The first part of Fast X is currently scheduled to be released May 19th, 2023. Okay, so female Fast and the Furious. There's lots of females in Fast and the Furious, as they named there, plus there's more. And there's lots of great female characters in Fast and the Furious. Lots of great characters, all over the top and ridiculous, but fun characters for sure. I would like to point out in this story, they made the assertion that no wonder fans would like to see an all-female ensemble. I don't know what fans are talking about because there's nothing about fans saying they wanted that. This is one of the execs, but whatever. Maybe fans do. We're going to find out here in a minute. And also they said a television series, among others. What television series? Did I miss something? Was there a Fast and Furious television series?
There's a video game. I know that.
There's a video game. They had a branch of it on Forza Horizon. I'm not aware of a television series unless there's something they're working on that I haven't heard of yet. But anyway, maybe this was a scoop. Fast and Furious TV show coming. But female cat. I don't need. And let me finish. I don't need a female Fast and Furious. Let me elaborate. I need a female Fast and Furious about as much as I need a male Fast and Furious. I just like Fast and Furious. The Fast and Furious movies have always been a mix of both.
Yeah.
I guess the main two, at one point now one character, has always been Vin Diesel, and it was Paul Walker as well, and unfortunately he passed away. But I've never felt like it sidelined the female characters or anything. I always felt, if nothing else, the Fast movies did a pretty good job of kind of highlighting everybody, male and female. And also the whole thing behind those movies is family, and family's not just male or female. I mean, if they've got a cool idea of a movie that involves these particular characters that all happen to be female, and they say, hey, we want to make this movie, and it makes sense that it's these female characters, I'm like, okay, let's talk about that. That could be cool. But I don't want you to make a movie just like in other movies I've talked about. I don't want you to make a movie just because, hey, we want to have this franchise, the female franchise. I don't feel like that's the right reason. What about you, Nick? Do you want to see an all-female Fast and Furious? Do you want to see Fast and Furious? Period. I guess.
Yeah, I'm kind of over the franchise. I'll be honest with you. That last movie was so bad. This is like the Mission Impossible franchise. I love it, but like, what else can they do? He's like, I don't know. The female, sure, whatever. Give the females what they want, something to root for. But it's like the whole Avengers Endgame problem.
Yeah, are they asking for this? I have not heard. This is the first I've heard anything about this. Have we heard females saying, "Oh, we need that"? I don't feel like we have heard any fans say that, because I feel like, if nothing else about these movies, they do a good job of just kind of spreading the love all around. I mean, that's my opinion. I could be wrong. What were you saying about Endgame?
Oh, it's like that scene at Avengers Endgame. It's like, do we really need that? Like, I don't know.
No, you mean the scene that just like broke all the tension and that whole excitement right there, that just out of nowhere they said strike a pose, and it's like, what? Okay, that was out of nowhere.
Yeah, they were listening to Madonna and like strike a pose.
Yeah, I have nothing against females. Stupid. I have nothing against female-led films, and just like things like that just seem so forced. And this is one thing I think this franchise, even though you're not a fan, I think the franchise has done a pretty good job of just keeping its nose out of all that stuff. It's always just been kind of like, we're going to be this, super goofy yet take ourselves really serious movie or series that's really memeable, talking about family. It's never gotten to all the other BS of like some of these other movies. Now it sounds like they're talking about it. I don't need that. I mean, what would this be?
I don't know. Them fighting each other? I don't know. It's so.
Are they gonna bring Gina Carano back?
I hope not.
she was in one.
She's too busy being canceled right now. So.
Yeah. Can you be too busy being canceled? I guess so.
Apparently, yeah. Apparently, at this point, you can. Yeah. Fuck.
She was. I think she was in one of them, wasn't she? Wasn't she? I don't
I
know.
don't know. I think I know Ronda Rousey was, but I don't know. She probably was.
Maybe that's who I was
No.
thinking of. Maybe it was Ronda Rousey, not
Yeah.
not Gina Carano. I don't know. Somebody. Gina Carano was in Deadpool, right? Wasn't she in the first Deadpool? Was that her?
Maybe.
She's a
Gina
female-
Carano was in. She was in one of the Star Wars shows, Mando or
Yeah,
something.
Mandalorian. Yeah, I think. I don't know. I don't. Maybe I. All the women look alike. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. Okay, calm
Jacob,
down.
as Antonio said, Jacob with the hot take.
Just joking. But no, in all seriousness though, and not because it's females. Because if they said, "Hey, we want to," I mean, there's the other. If they came up and said, "Hey, we're going to take all the women out of the movie and have an all male Fast and Furious," what would be the point? What's the point at that point? I mean, why? And some people would say, "Well, Fast and Furious is already all male," but it's not. If it was, I would be like, "Oh, maybe you got a point." But if you can't do the same thing on the other side, then why? Why are you doing it? And I just don't. If they got a great story and then they say, hey, it's mostly about focuses on these females, okay, great, but I wouldn't want to see anything of these movies. But hey, that's me. How about you guys? What do you think? Do you want to see an all-female? Do you agree with Donna Langley over at Universal? Do you want to see an all-female Fast and Furious? Let me know in the comments below why and what you would want to see, and why it would need to be all-female. Or all anything. Why couldn't it just be everybody? All inclusive. Inclusion, people.
Can they make a all male?
Still Magnolias.
Yeah, Steel Magnolias. Fried green tomatoes.
Yeah. All male fried greens. That'd be a boring fucking movie. Let's just go watch TV. Wouldn't be all that shit. Anyway, no. Love you, ladies. But yeah, let us know in the comments below seriously what you guys think. And that's it. That's all I had. I didn't have much of a show today. I wish I'd had more, because now we have to let Nick go. We don't want to let you go, because I know for a fact you'll be moved by the time the next episode rolls around on Tuesday, right? Oh, we lost him. Nick! I'm gonna leave his picture right there. We lost Nick. I'm gonna leave his frozen. Oh, he's back. Oh no, he's gone. Now it's me. Shit. Well, let me turn that off. Oh my God, that's crazy looking, isn't it? Let me bring it back down here. There we go. Well, unfortunately, I don't know if he lost internet connection or what, but we lost Nick. He made it through almost the whole show. We'll see if he comes back to give to bid us all adieu. But hope you guys enjoyed the show. Let me look here through the comments for a second and see what you guys are talking about. Chris Jericho was in Terrifier 2, and I was like, they must have had him on the list be in the movie. I've not seen Terrifier. I just saw Terrifier 1. I watched it the other day because I've been hearing so much about 2. That movie was sick. Perfect freeze face for the movie smile, right? I thought he was still there. He was just smiling. His presence is still here. That's what you call a solo show, yeah. Solo show with somebody. Let me see. What do I got coming? I do have actually a few more reviews coming in the next few days than I have been having. And also, I'll go ahead and let those of you here know. I know I had mentioned it. Oh, Nick's back. Hang on. Let me turn him back on. Well, he was back. Then he left. He tried to come back in. Anyway. Oh, he's back.
Am I?
Yeah, you are.
Like my internet would just went. It just said, "Fuck you. You're not supposed to be on this episode, so fuck you."
Fuck you.
Yeah, because I started talking, all of a sudden Jacob just went.
Well, that's what you were doing. We were looking at you. You were like, and I thought you were just smiling, and I was like, he's smiling for an awfully long time.
No, yeah, fucking what am I using? Xfinity? Xfinity sucks, man. Fucking hate this shit.
Well, um,
Anyways,
well, he's back, everybody. He's back. He's back to
back.
tell us
I'm
bye.
back.
But yeah, I do have. I was letting everybody know that I have actually a few reviews coming up this week, and I will be. I mentioned it on last week's or not Wednesday, Tuesday show. I think. I think I am, at least for the time being. I will be back on Tuesday. What is today? Friday? Yeah. I'll be back on Tuesday, but on Tuesday I'll let you guys know for sure. I think I am, for the time being, going to take this show to one show a week instead of two. However, you will see me more often than once a week. What I'm going to do, because I'm wanting to free up a bit of time so I can do more reviews, because I've got so many fucking reviews I could do right now, and I want to do them. So I want to free up some of that time. So I think I'm going to do the show once a week, but I am going to, as other, like if a big story that's like show worthy, excuse me, if a show worthy story comes out, I'll just do it that day. I'll just release a video. I won't necessarily go live doing it. I'll record a video in this, form factor like this about that story and just release it separately. I won't do that like every single day. I'll be doing stories or nothing. But if something like really like that, I really want to talk about that, but the episode's not for like 4 or 5 days from now, I'll just go ahead and make a little video about it. And then when it leads up a little bit closer to whatever day I'm going to do the show, which I'm thinking maybe middle of the week. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to do it on Fridays. Maybe like a Wednesday show. Maybe I'll keep it as Tuesday. I don't know. Probably like beginning to middle of the week is like a nice little spot. But like say Friday afternoon, something really big drops, like that whole thing with James Gunn and them. I'd probably just do a quick video and release it on Friday. And that'll also allow me more opportunity to do more reviews more often. I don't plan on doing like a review every day or anything, but I would like to release like 3 or 4 reviews a week instead of just like one a week. So, but I still want to do the show. I don't want to not do it. But I do find it like today, there just wasn't a ton of stuff. I had to like look hard for a lot of this stuff. And this time of year especially, there's just news is slow. So it doesn't make a lot of sense for me to be doing it twice a week when I just don't have as much stuff. Then you guys are sitting here listening to me talk for 2 hours about pretty much nothing. I will be going live, and I'll tell you exactly what day. Let's see. As of right now, what day is the 4th?
I think it's Friday.
Damn, it's
Yeah,
that far
Friday.
off. As of right now, next Friday, that is when it's scheduled. I had told everybody last week that it would be between Monday and Wednesday that I would be going live for a unboxing and a playthrough and all that of my new Sega Genesis Mini 2. Because initially it was supposed to be here between Sunday and Wednesday, but now it's saying that it will be arriving on the 4th, which is next Friday. So as of right now, as of this moment, it is in Nagoya, Japan. But it has been shipped. It is at a carrier facility in Nagoya, Japan, according to Amazon. So, because they're all coming from Japan. So, if it comes before that, I'll do it before that. But Amazon's usually when they say, "Oh, it's coming on this day," it usually comes on that day. So, as of right now, unless something changes, I will be doing that on next Friday, an unboxing live, just kind of a live thing of that, and probably playing through it some, and then I'll have like an official video of like giving a review of it. So. Those of you that want to see some type of gaming-esque review, there'll be a lot of gaming there. 60 games, in fact, because I plan on at least starting all of them on the stream. Yeah. I may do a review of Terrifier, the first one, because I doubt I'm going to see the second one anytime soon. I finally saw Barbarian. Really like that movie, by the way. Might do a review, I don't know. It's kind of past its prime at this point. Did you like... I know... Because I have not watched your review, Nick, because I wanted to see it. I know you. I gathered that you liked the movie.
Yeah, it was good. It was like I think you mentioned a tweet or you DM'd me about it, but yeah, I enjoyed it. Like I said, I felt like this year's Malignant, where I know you like that. You didn't like Malignant, but it felt like that where it actually has like a crazy third act to it, which kind of
Well,
it goes places.
Yeah, I saw, because you had said that to me, because I was looking forward to Barbarian. You saw it and you said, "Well, you didn't like Malignant." I got Malignant vibes. I was like, "Oh shit!" But after watching it last night, I see what you're talking about. I know what you meant by that. But my issues with Malignant were not that. Actually, the final act of Malignant, as ridiculous and dumb as fuck as it was the most entertaining part of the movie. But this one, I just thought it was executed much better than Malignant.
Yeah,
I didn't really care.
Yeah, Justin Long's amazing in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked everybody, and it really played with my emotions on who was what and who was gonna be what and how, and yeah, it was a really good movie. It's on HBO Max right now, everybody. I strongly suggest checking it out. It's creepy as fuck, and it's got some tense moments that really make you just kind of like, what's it about to show? What's it about to show?
Yeah.
I thought it was really good. Let's see. I saw some other movie. I've got some other. I don't want to say what they all are, but I do have some reviews of those movies for sure coming out in the coming days. How about you, Nick? I know your content flow is going to slow down a bit here. You've still got some stuff loaded up. Do you have anything that you want to let everybody know that is coming to your channel before you have your hiatus?
We have a pretty special, not really special, but pretty cool Fifth Dimension episode coming on Monday that doesn't deal with like an actual episode. It deals more with another property of the Twilight Zone. I did just get a screener for a certain movie, the Weird Al movie, maybe. So I may actually do a review for that. Yeah.
Oh, cool. I want to see that.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna watch that and do a review for that. But I think I think I'm gonna need to do like phone reviews for a little while. So if I see like something like Fablemans or something like that, I'll do a review for that. But it'll be like very low key res or whatever you want to call it type of review.
This is when your channel is going to explode.
Yeah,
you're gonna put the least amount of effort in, and like you'll come back from your little hiatus in like a month or whatever, and be at like 100,000 subscribers. And I'll be like, what the fuck? Where's my phone?
Well, no, it's like my Black Adam like out of the theater reaction got like a few thousand views, and then everything else got like 300. It's like maybe I should just do my phone from now on.
That's how it works sometimes. Like you do something and you're like, this is gonna get nothing, and it like blows up, and you're like, holy crap! Like my highest viewed video, I never in a million years thought it would get anything, much less what it got. And then you put like minimal effort, or you put like maximum effort into something, and like and you're like, this is the best video I've ever made, and it's got so much cool stuff, and like 10 people watch it. It's like, what the fuck? Yeah. But hey, that's that YouTube life right there, everybody. Everybody who wants to get into this game, which I know Fright and Antonio both have channels, so you guys probably know what we're talking about, at least to a degree. Antonio, he's the big guy here. He's got a video with over 1 million views.
I know. He won't tell us how he did it.
Yeah.
I keep yelling at him, but he's like, no.
I'm not telling you my secrets. But yeah. Well, do you any idea about how long you'll be gone? Or I know you're not gonna be totally gone, but until you're back to like all set up to where you're back to normal.
I mean, if worse comes to worse, like if it's longer than it needs to be, maybe I'll just use my phone and come on that way to the show. Just like, do it from my phone and a pair of AirPods or something. It won't look good, but at least it'll. Yeah, Blair Witch shot. Have it up my nose, like it's not coming out. Yeah. So So, but yeah, it's gonna be a little difficult for a time being, but
sure.
Yeah. So
that's cool. I'm sure it'll fly by. I'm sure you'll get all that squared away. Well, all right. Well, cool. Well, good luck to you, sir. Hope all that. I know that we'll still be in contact, and I hope things go smoothly. I know moving sucks. It sucks ass.
Yeah.
There's nothing. Yeah. Nobody says, "Hell yeah, I'm moving." I guess if you're moving from being homeless to a house, then you will. But I mean, beyond that.
Well, the worst part is like when you look under your bed, you realize you haven't cleaned there for a few months. It's like, oh my god, it's terrible.
I just don't look. I don't look under there.
Shit.
I have no desire to know what's under there. But, well, cool. All right, well, everybody, thanks for hanging out today. Hope you guys enjoyed what little bit of the show was there. We got our a Nick surprise. Maybe we'll get another one at some point. But I will be back for sure on Tuesday. and I'll have more concrete details as to the schedule of this channel. But I have just had some requests from people of just saying, hey, I've had people say that, hey, we enjoy your content you have now, but I still want reviews, so I'm trying to meet that happy medium there. So I'm going to try and provide that. That's what people want, and I just want to do that. There's been some movies I'm like, oh, I really want to talk about that. I don't have time, so trying to provide you with what you're saying you want. But I'll be back on Tuesday with those concrete details and hopefully some other reviews. And I really, really have a movie I want to talk about, but I don't want to talk about it alone. So I'm trying to get a guest to come on with me. Seeing as how I do it in the middle of the workday, in the middle of the week, it's not always the easiest. So hopefully I'll get somebody on next time so we can talk about this little movie. But that is about all I got. Everybody wish Nick a happy move, and we will see all you guys next time. Adios, muchachos.
Peace.